Hi there everybody, this is David, and I have some good, exciting news for y'all out there. Any Mega Man fans in the building? I know I am. I'm actually a fan of traditional classic Mega Man, as well as the Mega Man RPGs, and while they haven't been around in quite some time, I do think that they are ready for a revival, according to Capcom themselves, and today I want to tell you all about that, and I do think that that is worth a sub, as I do try my hardest to hit 100,000 subscribers by the end of this year. And with your help, your like, and your sub, I do think that I can get there. So, let's go ahead and get started going over all of this good news. First things first, Capcom had a shareholders meeting, and one of the questions was very blunt. It just said, please tell me what plans you have for the Mega Man series. Capcom responds, Mega Man is one of the most highly valued IPs and we're considering how to create games for it on an ongoing basis. So not just one game, but multiple games, and multiple games on an ongoing basis. So you might think, okay, well, they're just going to do their regular games, the games like they did like on the NES, the regular Mega Man games, which I grew up with and I absolutely adored. Or, they could go off and do their RPG games. And now, remember, if you will, just last year, Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection came out, which was a collection of the Mega Man Battle Network games, and there was a ton of them. There was like 6 of them or whatever. And it sold very, very, very well for kind of a niche sort of thing, I mean, these were older games, these were Game Boy Advance games, and then they were just kind of like ported on over into collection. And you would think, okay, well, that's kind of niche. I don't think that that's going to sell all that well. But it did. It sold 1.32 million copies. 1.23 million copies of Mega Man Battle Network. And I think that that was the last kind of Mega Man thing that we saw. But now that they want to go on and they want to continue utilizing this IP and continue making more Mega Man games, that's really exciting, especially because there is one particular Mega Man game that we're all waiting for, and I think that you know what it is, and it's Mega Man Legends 3. Now, let me take you on a trip back in time. Around the PlayStation 1 era, whenever the floodgates of JRPGs were opening and Final Fantasy VII was coming out, and all these other creators and studios wanted to get in on the JRPGs, and Capcom did too, and they created the Mega Man Legends series. Mega Man Legends 1 and 2 both came out on the original PlayStation 1, and they weren't like hits, they weren't bona fide hits, but they were cult classics, and they did sell well. I mean, it had to have sold well in order for them to make a sequel to it, and then there was actually a third game in the series too following The Villains, which is incredibly expensive, and I had all 3 of those games at one time when I was a kid, and I don't have them anymore because I sold them, and yeah, that's a story for another time. It's very upsetting to me. I wish that I did have them, but I don't. Anyway, let's fast forward to the PlayStation era up to 2011, roughly 15-something years ago, whenever Capcom officially announced production on Mega Man Legends 3. And then it was canceled. So yeah, that kind of sucked. That actually really did suck, because Mega Man Legends 2 ended on a cliffhanger. Volnut was stuck on Elysium, essentially the moon, and it literally said at the end of the game, like, to be continued, and it still hasn't been continued. So I think it's time for Capcom to come and bring us Mega Man Legends 3. It is time. They were going to put this out on the 3DS, and they never did. I think it's time for it to come out to the Switch. We've seen that Mega Man can sell in RPGs with this Mega Man Battle Network collection that came out and sold like hotcakes. So we know that they can do it, it's just a matter of time. We also know that Capcom came out with that survey not that long ago, where it was talking about, their most popular IPs, the most popular characters, the most popular games, and you know what topped a lot of those lists? Yeah, Street Fighter and all that, but also Okami, Breath of Fire, Mega Man, yeah, those JRPGs, Breath of Fire, I mean, come on, you can't get more JRPG than that. So they know that, yeah, they haven't really dabbled in these games for quite a bit of time, but their fan base is still there, and they are vocal. So now that Capcom wants to go and revisit and really go back to Mega Man, go back to the basics, go back to what helps them and makes them great, they're going to be looking into these RPGs. So now I want to know from you, what do you feel about this news? Are you as excited about it as I am? Because I am thrilled. I am stoked. I'm always looking on the bright side of things. You know, you could look at news two different ways. You could look at it negatively, you can look at it positively. And I always choose to look at it with like a positive angle, because they're saying that they want more Mega Man. They're not saying it's dead, and they're saying that they want to utilize it in different ways. That to me sees different genres, you know, the action, the platforming genre, and also the JRPG genre. So I'm hoping that this is coming to fruition sooner rather than later. So let me know what you think about this news, and as always, have a good day.